Hello and welcome to mijn review of John Malin's Godlike, the Romulus Saga. Now, to start off with, I just want to say I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I read it in a oneer. And for me, if I can read a comic in a oneer, thumbs up. That means it's good. Look at the cover on this. Brilliant. Look at the artwork. John Malin's artwork is absolutely beautiful. This is my first John Malin book. I'm very embarrassed to say. I've backed I'm not very rich, quite skint. I've backed a few CG books. It seems when I back the books, I keep backing the books for the guys that are the latest. I missed it on the guys that I'm sitting here waiting for books, and somebody else is putting out a book and it's came out and it's gone and they're on to the next book, and I'm fucking waiting for all these books. So this time I thought, fuck it, going to buy John Malin's Godlike, and then when he released the Graveyard Shift, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy all of them. I think I bought all of them. As well, there's a few little side books that I couldn't afford, but I bought 1 to 4 and then number 5, I think it was. Whatever package that was on the Graveyard Shift. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I got the book with the crazy ending as well, with the severed head. So I'm looking forward to that. Back to this book though. The colours on this just pop. It's absolutely beautiful. The artwork looks beautiful. I think you can learn a lot about drawing from looking at John's work. I'm looking at how he does noses. I'm looking how he does lips, how he does hair, how he draws swords, armor. I quite liked while I was reading it, trying to figure out how John draws and how he creates his, how he builds up his characters, whatever you might call it. I'm going blank. Anyway, let's get to the story. Here's the book. Nice looking book. Starts off with this, right? And you might end up passing that. You might think that's just a dedication, but this is actually part of the story. The only thing is, it seems like it's part of the story. Wait a minute, why have I got a fucking lisp? I don't usually have a lisp. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's early in the morning. I've just got up, had a coffee, and I thought, fuck it man, I'm hyper for the coffee, so I might as well do the review instead of later on when I'm fucking crashing. Anyway, so this, you would think maybe it's just a dedication, but no, it's actually the introduction. So you read that part, go on to the next part. This is the only problem I've got with the book. It's pretty much these 2 pages. This actually leads on from that, but there's not really, you don't really see that. You read that and that's a nice little statement, gets you into, tells you the history of it. Then it comes on to that, and it's this first fucking sentence that gets me. The last of the 2 species navigated the crippled starship towards the moons of the nearby planet Terminus. Their vessel crashed and burned into the long 800 years of alien winter. I had to read that about 40 times. I had no idea what the fuck it was. I read it about 20 times and I realised, oh, that's coming from after this. That wasn't just an introduction, that was like, maybe this should have been here, or I don't know, with the little 3 dots and then the 3 dots there. I didn't know what an 800 years of alien winter was. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? 800 years alien, what the fuck is that? Later, now, once I've read it all, I fucking understand it. But it's like, oh shit, I'm getting, what's that fingerprints? once you get past that, it's totally fine. But this is a stumbling block for me. This is like I want to open up and read the book, but I can't. Like I said on Twitter or X that it feels like you're going somewhere exciting. Um, you know you're going to go somewhere fucking cool for the rest of the book. So you put on your shoes and then you go to tie your laces, but you've got no fingers. You can still tie them, and you're fucking desperate to get out the door so you can fucking go to this cool place, but you've got no fingers, so you try to use your stubs to fucking tie your laces. Finally, you get it, and you get to go. But it's like a brick wall when you're trying to start a comic book. I don't know. I don't know. This should have been. This is the only problem I've got. Maybe rearrange this. Maybe have someone talking it or something, or like a floating head, whatever you call it, saying it. Maybe have a bit of action first, and then this. Maybe even put this at the back and just start with the action. You know, like I don't know, because I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know if I could have read a part of the story first and then been like, wow, what's the history of this? And then find this out later. But to start off with, I'm stuck on this sentence and I'm reading it over and over again. I'm like, you know, burned into a long 800 years of alien winter. Well, 800 years is a long time. You don't need to put long in there. Crashed and burned into 800 years of an alien winter maybe would have made more sense. And like I would have realised what it was before. You know, I'm like, who the fuck are the Aeon? Are they aliens or what? I mean, like, it's a lot to kind of, it's a bit of a hurdle to kind of get over before you can get into the good shit. I mean, it's all info that you need and it's good. And it's good to flick back and forth when you're reading the book going, wait a minute, what fucking planet was that? But there's just something, maybe stick in a little bit of action first and then a two-page spread of this to so I can get into the comic first and then go, oh, read this little bit and then carry on with the. But as soon as you get to this, and then as soon as you get to this, it's like, okay, here we fucking go. The artwork throughout the book is absolutely beautiful. The layouts are great. The layouts are interesting. They're easy to follow. I mean, it's just fucking beautiful. The drawing's beautiful. I mean, there's space. You know, there's clarity. You know, he's he draws a lot of detail, but he's not as OCD or whatever Ethan is. You know, that was my critique of Wrecked Planet. Is like you don't. I think Ethan's drawn every leaf in the forest. You know, and you don't need to. You can breathe a little bit. You know, you can like here's a fucking palace or whatever they're going into, and there's no fucking nothing there. Bit of breathing room, bit of scale. I know Wrecked Planet is claustrophobic, they're trapped in the forest, they can't leave, etc. etc. Anyway, back to this book. See, this is what I'm talking about when you can deconstruct John's drawing. You know, how he draws noses, faces, it's good. I like it. For an artist myself, learning, it's helpful, very helpful. It's quite, I would say, I know John's a big fan of Rob Liefeld, and we can definitely see it in his work. I see a lot of JRJR in it as well. Now, let's see. The colours are great, the colours pop. You know, sometimes I don't like modern colours where, you know, you have to put extra bits in every little aspect, you know, like I like how her knees are bending. You know, that's pretty fucking hot. Although I do find it weird when you're looking at, you know, drawings of sexy females in comics. I'm like, oh man, that's hot, and the way she's bent her legs and all that. But that's came for a guy. John drew that. That's came for John's mind. Does that make me gay? I don't know. You know, you can imagine John enjoying drawing this. So, you know, it's kind of like a, I don't know. It's second-hand gayness, maybe. No, not gayness. No, not second-hand gayness, because John's not gay. He's drawing this. He's enjoying the female figure. He might be getting a little aroused. You know, we all do when we love drawing women. My ex-girlfriend fell out with me because I said that. I said, oh, when you're younger and you're drawing, like, you know, we never had porn and all that kind of stuff. It's like in the Crumb documentary when he says, was it Crumb? Yeah, I think Crumb said it, and I think Grant Morrison said it. It's like when you're younger and you're drawing titties and you're like, oh my god, this is so rude. I'm not allowed to do this. I've never seen real titties. Anyway, I just find it quite funny and weird. I told my girlfriend that, and she was like, "Oh, you fucking turned on by drawings?" And I'm like, "Fuck's sake, calm down." Anyway, who knew John was so poetic? You're reading this, right? You're coming along here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait a minute. This is quite a good bit with this guy. I don't know what the fuck it is. I thought he like sacrificed his daughter and his wife, but he's got a daughter wife. Does that mean he's married to his daughter? Anyway, it's pretty funny. I won't spoil it, but it's pretty funny. You can see kind of there. But then you get to this bit and you're like, what the fuck? John's a poet? An hour beyond and high above, a dying tower clutches to the sky. That's not just like meanwhile. That's poetry. Should I say it in Scottish? An hour beyond and high above, a dying tower clutches to the sky. In bonnie Scotland. Anyway, this bit's a little bit jarring. She pops up and I thought, was this the companion he's with? I don't even know who he is he's with. He brings someone. Him and someone else come. Is it her? I'm not sure. I think it's a guy, a boy or something, they said. I don't know who the fuck it is. Anyway, that's a good part. Let's skip ahead a little. And then, like, that's like just the introductory. That's like, it feels like John did the main story, then went, fuck it, you know, we've raised enough money, let's go and put all this cool shit at the beginning as well. I mean, just look at this spread. You go from that kind of introduction to boom, excellent. Again, you can see how John draws, it's great. How he builds up his figures, that's what I was trying to say last time. Let me see. Now this fucking bit, right? I think, who is this? This is like the evil leader who he got, I can't remember what it was, he got someone to build a throne, and when he sat on it he turned to stone, and then they've like gutted him out and made it a base. I think that's what it was. I'm sure that's what it was. This big evil godlike thing got someone to, where is it? When the king sat, he was turned to stone. There you go. Long ago, Titans ruled the dark moon of Razul. They say that the great sorcerer tricked the Titan king, creating an enchanted throne from the king's black mountain of power. And when the king sat, he was turned to stone. And then, so they've hollowed him out and made this like a fucking base, you know? And my first thought was, this is a fucking perverted, dark Thundercats base. Look at it. It's a fucking Thundercats base, but it's fucking the dark, perverted John Malin's Thundercats base. It's fucking awesome. You're just waiting for this to raise up in the Thundercat car. I can't even remember what it's called. Comes out. But yeah, a lot of this reminds me of the reboot Thundercat, the good reboot Thundercats cartoon. There's quite a lot of similarities to that. There's a lot of talk about like science and technology mixing with magic, and then obviously you've got the Sword of Omens. So there is quite a lot of Thundercats running through this. There is quite a lot of like the way Ethan used the whole SJW thing as the base for the Vespas and their takeover of the world. This seems like the Aeons are Grabblers. Very much like, you know, I don't want to say conspiracy theories, but conspiracy facts. And there's somewhere in it where it talks about the Aeons controlling everything and, you know, every aspect of society and stuff. And it's very much the Aeons are Grabblers, I think, John. Now, I just wanted to point out, well, this one, I don't know where this came from. I think Sawjaw's him. He's not got his helmet on. Is this the helmet? Oh, right, I get it now. So there's no helmet at all there. Then there's partly a helmet and then it covers him. I didn't get that at first. Just seeing it now, I get it. But yeah, I was like, how did he get a helmet? He's not got a helmet, he's got a helmet. But I see it now. The colours, like, I'm not a big fan of modern colours, but see when you've got this, the choices are fucking great for this shit, you know? Like, that's just unusual for that to be a portal colouring, and it just fucking pops with the rest of the book is like, you know, you've got a fucking red season coming over here. Where's the other colours that are like just here as well with the extra bits on his teeth. I don't know if his teeth are pearly or if that was electricity. It looks like his teeth are more like shiny, you know. What is that? Is that pearl? Where it's all kind of purples and blues and shiny, but you don't really see it until you kind of wiggle it in the light. Anyway, a big fan of the colours. I think that's it. I don't want to spoil anything. There's a good twist at the end, which was unusual. I wasn't expecting it. I think for a fantasy story, is it unusual for a fantasy story to have that twist at the end? It kind of is, because you're going through the whole book and you think it's a fantasy story, then there's a twist and you're like, oh, okay. So it's not just a fantasy story. It is actually a superhero fantasy story. If you get what I'm saying. I think that's it. That's all my notes. I really enjoyed it. That's a comic book. There's enough in that to keep me going and thinking that I've spent enough, that my money's worth. Start again. There's enough in this book that I think my money's been well spent. Enough action, enough stuff going on. Really looking forward to book 2. You know, it's not perfect. It's not fucking, you know, it's not perfect. But it's definitely worth the money. Definitely looking forward to book 2. I think that's it. Looking forward to Graveyard Shift next. Well, thanks guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want, Leave a comment. What did you think of Godlike, and what do you think of John's artwork and storytelling? I think his writing was good. Like, it was, apart from the first two pages, like, he's got proofreaders, you know, and I can't remember what the credits are, but he's got proofreaders, and I would have just been like, if I was a proofreader, I'd have been like, John, I was stuck on this for a, I had to read it about 40 times to really like, and that was the start of the fucking story, you know, so that's what I would have got this all rearranged if I was a proofreader. But I'm not. I'm just a humble retard who's trying to make his own comic and realising that it's fucking really fucking hard. And there's a lot of shit you need to learn. I think I could, off the bat, do a better book than Ripperverse. Well, I think I could have shat out a better book than Ripperverse. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, guys. Come on, get me to 100 by the end of the year, please. If not for my own ego, for just for goodness. Sayonara.